Hello students, Sai Ram. Today we are going to continue chapter number 5, Separation of Substances, part 3. In this session we will study about the different methods of separation. There are various methods by which separation can be done and we will study them all one by one. Different methods of separation which you have to study are hand picking, threshing, winnowing, sieving, sedimentation, decantation, filtration and evaporation. So the first method of separation which we are going to study is hand picking. What is this hand picking, children? Here children, on the screen, these are the rice grains with some impurity. And now to remove these impurities, what will you do? That's quite simple. You will just pick up these impurities by your hand, isn't it? You have seen your mother doing this almost every day. This is called as hand picking. When you are separating two components by your hand, it is known as hand picking, or we can call this method as hand picking method. Isn't it very simple, children? So what we understood is when pulses and rice have impurities such as stone, dirt, insect or other grains, we usually remove them, or we usually remove the stones, dirts, insects with our hand. This process is known as hand picking. So what is hand picking? It is a separation method which is used to remove unwanted harmful substances from the mixture by using your hand. Now answer this question for me, children. Can hand picking be used to separate all substances from the mixture? Before answering this question, let's look at this picture which is shown on the screen. This is a mixture of salt and sugar. Can you separate salt and sugar by just hand picking? The answer is obviously no. You will not be able to separate salt and sugar by hand picking. Why it is so, children? Because the components that are mixed here are very small in size and practically it is impossible to separate them by your hand. So now we know that when hand picking can be used when the size of impure substance is large. If the size of impurity is very small as salt and sugar in the mixture, you cannot separate it by your hand. And the second condition is quantity of impurity should be less, because for example here, if I tell you that there are tons and tons of rice and it is full of impurities and you have to separate it by your hand, will you be able to do it? No. So that's why if the impurity is less, that means the quantity of impure substance is less, and if the size of impure substance is large, then only you are able to use this hand picking method of separation. So now we know that if impure substance is small or if there is a large quantity of impurity, then hand picking cannot be used. So now we are going to move forward to the next method of separation, which is threshing. I have told you about this, that a wheat plant, after harvesting, the grains are separated from the stalks. I have told you about this, but I didn't tell you that how these grains are separated from the stalk. So this method of separating grains from stalk is known as threshing. So after harvesting wheat plant, they are usually dried in sun for few days for drying of the stalk, and after that there are two methods of separation which are to be followed. On smaller scale, these grains are separated from stalk by manually beating of these stalks. You can see here this farmer, he is manually beating these stalks on the hard surface. Here it is shown in the picture that the farmer is using the stone on which he is beating the stalk, and there you can see the grains are getting separated from the stalk and the grains are falling down. So on the smaller scale this can be done, but when you have a large field and you know there are tons and tons of grains which you have to separate, then doing it with manually won't be possible. So for this threshers are used. These are the machines. They separate grains from the stalk. So this process of separating grains from the stalk is known as threshing. Dear children, on the screen I have shown you a combine machine. However, these days some modern methods have come up where the manual effort has been replaced by machines. So here you have automatic machines. Machines are taking care of entire process. So the machine is called as combine, and this machine does harvesting as well as threshing. Harvesting means like when you plant or when you start planting, it takes some time to give crops. So by the time the crops are ready, and then when you need to cut these crops, the cutting of these crops is known as harvesting. So that these machines, you don't even need to cut the crops. This machine itself will take care of the cutting of the crops, and within a machine, threshing, that means separation of grains from the stalk, is done itself by the machine. Then the separated grains are collected in a collector tank and unwanted chaff falls off the back of the machine. I hope children you understood this method of threshing, and which we call as the separation method, which we use to separate grains from the stalk. Now we will see the third method of separation, which is winnowing. So let's continue with this. Now we will take a closer look at this. This is a wheat plant, which we call as the spike of wheat plant. I have shown you on the screen. In threshing, we have separated these grains from the stalk, but can you see these grains are covered with brown covering? This brown covering is called as husk, and we don't eat this husk. We actually eat the grain which is inside this husk. So by the process of winnowing, we separate grains from the husk. The grains we eat and the husk is used as fodder for animals as a food. This husk is the brown covering. So now you know what is winnowing. Winnowing is the method of separation which is used to separate heavier and lighter component of mixture by wind or by blowing wind. It is used to separate husk from the grains. Now we will try to understand this winnowing method with the help of this diagram. Here you can see that the woman, she is standing on a raised platform, and now you suppose that wind is blowing in this direction. She is standing on a raised platform and she is folding this container in tilted position, and she is allowing these grains to fall down. What will happen when wind is blowing in this direction, children? The lighter particles, that is husk, the husk which is outside covering of the grain, is quite light in weight. So the lighter particles will be carried away by the wind, and the heavier particles, that is the grain, will settle down and form a heap. You can see that lighter particles that we call as husk will move in this direction. It will carried away by wind and it will form a heap at some distance, whereas the heavier particles, that is grain, being heavier, it will settle down here and it will form a heap like this. So this is how, by the process of winnowing, by the action of wind, the husk and the grains are separated. that is a lighter and a heavier components are separated. So now I hope you understood this, and the definition of winnowing is the method of separation used to separate heavier and lighter components of mixture by the action of wind or blowing air, and it is used by the farmers to separate husk from the grains. Now children, I hope you understood this winnowing method. So let's move on to the next topic. But before moving forward, let's clear once again that so that you don't get confused between threshing and winnowing. Alright? So what is threshing? In threshing, we separate grains from the stalk. These grains from the stalk by beating it manually on a hard surface or with the help of thresher, and in winnowing, we actually separate husk from these grains. You see this brown grain covering on the wheat, which we call as husk. So we have separated husk from the grains by the action of wind. Now you have understood the difference between threshing and winnowing. Now let's move on to our next method of separation, which we have to study is sieving. You have seen your mother doing this almost every day before she makes chapati for you. So sieving is a simple technique of separating particles of different sizes. It is used when the components of mixture have different sizes. Why I am saying this? Because suppose your mother is sieving a wheat flour, so the finer particle of atta or flour will pass through the sieve, and any impurity which is larger than the wheat flour will remain on the sieve, so that it can be used only when the components of mixture have different sizes. Similarly, you can see in the picture that a sieve can be used to separate the soil from the larger stone particles, so that the fine soil particle will pass through the sieve and the larger particles will remain here in the sieve. Similarly, you have seen that these kind of sieves are used at the construction sites, where these sieves are used to separate sand particles which are fine from the stones, so that the finest particles will pass through the sieve and stone particles will remain here. So I hope children you understood that sieving can be used only when the particles are of different sizes and that we need to separate. So it can be used only to separate the particles which are of different sizes. Now the remaining methods of separation we'll study in the next session. Till then, goodbye children.